issues concerning the March and March movement that is now, is in crisis. Now, the March and March activists, you know, they have come out to say that they're not going to protest all day long. That is, they're not going to protest forever. Meaning, they are also seeing the possibility of their movement, not to be of importance in later years to come. Because these are the things I draw out from their statement. One, the first thing I draw out from it is that they don't have any foundation regarding the change that they want South Africans to have regarding the issues that South Africans are going through, because they complain of unemployment and poverty and certain areas that are situated in the black community that are underdeveloped. So now, if they don't have any criteria on how their movement, their protests, should go about, if it's just only about the foreigners, immigrants who are documented leave South Africa, means they have failed. Because if you chase out, okay, let's say they have succeeded to chase out every foreigner away from South Africa, what is the fate of South Africans? What next? What will the South Africans do? What do they have in plans or to make the South Africans to enjoy? Because when the foreigners leave, South Africans now can say they can be employed, they can gain whatever they want to gain in terms of job, acquisition of properties. And South Africans, they love looting, and they have been looting all this while. See policemen going to spaza shops, drinking cokes and collecting money from the cashier stand. So what next? Now the foreigners have left. Many of them, close to 60 or 70% of them, have returned back to their countries, and now what is left now is the South Africans in their own country, in their own motherland, in their own fatherland, in their own territory. So if at all they continue the march that foreigners leave, which has been successful, what next should they program to fight? Now, Jacinta Gumbeze Zuma has been dragged to the court for instigating violence against businesses, against foreigners, and she said she's innocent. Okay, and that the movement is not violent, instigated against or targeted the foreigners in the country called South Africa. That the movement is for illegal immigrants who are living in South Africa to leave South Africa. That is what she says her movement is all about. So the movement is not about foreigners to leave and South Africans to suffer. The way that foreigners who are undocumented should leave South Africa, and for South Africans to gain fully employed and to have what to do to make their lives, what living or what living for. So, but the violence that erupted during the March and March movement, protesting and rioting, was caused by the movement. So it was instigated by the movement, because you cannot call people to come out to protest against the set immigrants who are from different countries and foreigners who are taking away their jobs, doing business illegally in the country, which is not constitutional, and all that blah, 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 blah. And you expect people to come out peacefully to protest. Now, when you call for a march, all sorts of people will come out. Those who are violent, those who are good, those who are bad, those who are wicked, those who are thieves, those who are looters, those who don't steal, those who don't commit crime, they will join. They will mix themselves in the fold to go out to protest. Now, that's why you see so many shops were looted, so many shops were burned, people were killed, people were beaten in the streets, because these guys, not all of them are good. So when you're calling for something like that, you should understand what it is for. The police are also part of it, because you see them standing where foreigners are being tortured and they will do nothing. Some of them are being caught on camera stealing. Okay, and it means nothing to the government. It shows the government has a full hand support concerning this, because what with all this you see is like the government. Not say I'm not sorry, the government don't have full hand support in it, but it's like the government has supporting behind the scene what is happening. But the government cannot accept that because no government will support that. And also, it seems as if the government is slow to act, and for which they are trying to understand how to solve the issues. And South African government know the importance of immigrants in the country. That's why Jacinta has been taken to court. Okay, but so far the government doing well. Those policemen that are into these kind of activities to not protect the foreigners should be called upon also as well to face some justice, But I want to applaud President Ramaphosa. He has made out so many, speeches. He has gone out so many times to condemn xenophobia in South Africa. He has gone out so many times to say Africa is one and Africans should live together, and Africans, South Africa is for all, and for which I applaud him. The Minister of Home Affairs has come out also to talk about the numbers of immigrants that are living in South Africa, and that some of them that will be sent out of South Africa who are illegal. Every country should protect their country. Every government should protect their country, because you cannot allow people who are not well documented to stay in your country. Most of them are, when life is too difficult for them. So we get into criminal activities, and by so doing we destroy the country that you are building to stand strong and compete with the other country in different areas of competition, be it sports, entertainment, movies and all the like. And so whatever is happening in South Africa it should be treated with care. You treated with some kind of tenderness. And Ramaphosa is a gentleman, and he's doing just that. And also, the South Africans, I don't know what they are saying, I don't know what they are thinking about, but it's a good country and it's a beautiful country. But for the people who are into crimes, trying to loot is not good. Now, the March and March protesters, they say they don't see any future about the March and March, because when the foreigners goes, what next? That's where you see they were wrongly organized. Hello, hi, thank you for joining. I can see rule one. Okay, rule one, thank you for joining. Hi. How you doing? So that's what is happening. So it shows that these guys, the activists, they did not map out what will make the protest a success, because their anger is that foreigners should leave. They're the cause of their troubles, which is not in majority of the part of South Africa. Foreigners don't constitute 100%. Now the South Africans they are the cause of their trouble, because if you don't allow things that you don't like to come into your country or to be in a neighborhood, eventually you'll be there. And also, some foreigners are the cause of the reason why South Africans are protesting that foreigners should leave. Because if you come to someone's house and you're peaceful with them, you love them, eventually they will keep you. And if you see the police also, they are also not doing anything. They are lukewarm, reluctant to protect the foreigners, because most of them were victims of some foreigners who are into dubious acts and crazy things. And maybe their relatives or whosoever were into crazy stuff that has caused them so much pain. So I understand, but there's also a part of law. The law is to be that you, as a policeman, you should protect the lives in your jurisdiction of command. You are there. That's what you have been trained to do. Okay, and but it's funny that people are into crisis and things are happening. So please, we should think of making things right and in the right way, so that people should live better and do things better. Okay, South Africa is a peaceful country and it's a wonderful country. I just wish that all this crisis to stop. You cannot live. South Africans, you cannot live alone. You cannot live alone. You cannot live alone. You cannot live alone. Okay, and the truth is, when there's crisis, there should be a solution. The solution not for the foreigners to leave. That's not the solution. Okay, so we should solve it. We cannot live. You cannot live alone in your country. Okay, so you guys should fight together with your brothers to make the country good, but also allow the immigrants who are there, who are documented, who are doing proper businesses, and they are doing well for the country. So thank you for this time out with me on Sit with Ayu David. I'll be back soon to talk more on the issues concerning South Africa. And South Africa is a wonderful country. I want to give a big shout out to the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, and to the government, to the policemen, and to all the South Africans who are, doing the right things for the foreigners who are there, and some of them who are protecting them. But those who are hurting others, please stop. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.
Samiri que tu passes ton pays.